Hello, believers, non believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire Live. I am your Ate Sapphire. Welcome. This is the weekly live stream I do at 5:30 Pacific right here on youtube.com. If you would like to send a story or an email, you can send it to storieswithsapphire@gmail.com right here on the screen the entire time. All right. So I have a couple cool stories picked out. I haven't read them all fully through, so because I like to be a little surprised, but I do like to skim it. But let me say hi to everyone who's here, or the names I can see: Hanako Lover, Newbie Pro, Pluto, Leonardo Cabrera, Carl's Cupcake, Sour Mango, Go Go, Stephen Main, Stavros Michael, Call Me Witch, Anthony Plays, and Adam Lombardo. Adam, what's up? All right, everyone. If you are new to the stream, welcome. This is where I read stories that may not make it into the podcast or the official like YouTube episodes. My ears went weird. Hello, hello. There we go. And then at the very end, I draw a card from one of my oracle decks. This week we will pull one from the Wild Mystic. These are all animals. They're all black and gold designs. It's so beautiful. All right, are you ready? Here we go. So, this first one is called Lady in the Corner. Okay, it's a short and sweet one. Hello, my name's Ash. Here's a story from when I was younger. I was in my house alone because everyone was busy. I went to the living room and I went to watch a movie like every time when I'm alone. Later, I woke up at 2 a.m. I started a new movie, but first I went to get food. I looked in the corner of the room and saw a large woman. Her skin color was gray, her hair was black, and her eyes were so terrifying. I still see it to this day. Her eyes were bright red, but what's weird was the pupils reminded me of fire. I didn't think too much of it because I thought I was still tired until it came right next to me. I wanted to scream, but I ran to my bedroom. I could hear it begging for me to open the door. I kept saying no and to leave me, but it wouldn't stop. The voice was terrible. It sounded like a sad woman who was crying but was mad. Weird, right? I stayed in the room until I could see the room. What? I stayed in the room until it was sunlight. I tried telling my family, but they said that I was lying. To this day, I still see her and her begging for me to open my door. What do you think? Ooh. Yay. Thank you, Ash, for sending that in. That's never a good thing if a woman is following you. Sorry, I got distracted reading something. Well, has the woman done anything? Like, do you feel tired? Do you feel like you have like bad luck, or is she just kind of like following you? Because what it could just be a human haunt, the spirit of somebody who died who just wants prayer. That is something that I learned recently. Is that for most human haunting cases, all you got to do is bless them, say a prayer for them, whatever your denomination or belief is, but just be like, I send you on your way. I bless you, and I hope, just whatever you want to say. So try that. And if it doesn't work, then maybe call someone who knows more than me. Ooh. Fire in the eyes. I was doing research recently, and I feel that's not a common thing, but it is. There's certain creatures that have like fiery eyes. I'll look into that later. All right, here's your next story. This one's called Glowing Goodbye. So this happened around last October. My grandmother passed away on October 26, 2019, and my grandfather passed away on November 15, 2020. They lived in the same house since 2006. It was built by my grandfather, and he spent the whole time they lived there improving it, even though he had been ill many times. My grandparents loved each other very much, and once my grandmother died, my grandfather was very upset, and he clung to my family a lot more. He would invite us to visit and have parties. My aunt and uncle moved in with him after my grandmother passed. One night, a few teenagers had gotten onto their property and made a racket, so they decided to get security cameras. A couple weeks went by, and they got the cameras, and they've kept them there even after my grandfather died. I've been researching the meanings of colors, and this is important to keep in mind, that red tends to represent strength, passion, energy, and action. Blue tends to represent security, trust, loyalty, responsibility. Around October, my aunt woke up late in the night and walked around. She was checking her security cameras, just because, why not? And on the camera, she saw a glowing purple orb. She was confused and looked outside. She saw nothing there. She switched looking back and forward outside and from the screen, and she decided to go outside and still saw nothing, but seemed to feel something there. Considering the timing, I can't help but feel it was my grandparents saying goodbye to them. My grandmother was known to be a stern woman who spoke her mind, and my grandfather was a kind, sweet man, and everyone couldn't help but like him when they would meet him. He too would speak his mind, and he was extremely loyal to my grandmother. He did everything she asked of him, and they cared very deeply for each other. If they were together, I feel as though they would be purple. My grandfather is blue, my grandmother is red. Thank you for reading my story. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Yes, sorry, I always have to. So reading about different colors. Yeah. There's a lot of different theories, specifically when it comes to orbs. There's a lot of different theories. A black orb doesn't necessarily mean something bad. A red orb doesn't necessarily mean something angry. Sometimes orbs are just colors, but I do like that you were looking into the meanings of the colors and then you came up with that theory. I think that's a really cool thing. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right, here we go. This one's called A Ghost Comforted Me to Sleep. Hello, Sapphire. I'm 14 right now, but the story I'm going to be telling you will be set to when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I only have a few memories and stories I've been told of this experience. I've never wrote a story before, so please bear with my horrible grammar and sentence structure. I'm going to make this story a bit more juicier than it was, so half of it is true and the rest is not. By the way, I absolutely love your videos. I've been watching you since I was 11 and since you were unsnarled. You're technically my awkward middle school phase, which I love. Love scary stories, and you serve them just so well. Well, thank you so much. Here's some backstory. My dad's side of the family isn't the best. They've always envied my family because we were better off in that I was the first girl born into the family. The other girls born into my dad's side would die before they'd turn a year old. Due to their jealousy, they do Jadoo, Jadoo, or black magic on our family out of envy. So when I was younger, I would be told of a lot of paranormal experiences I'd have, but I'd always think it was something to scare me. But this story I'm telling you about is the only one I can remember from my own memory. One night, when I was either 5 or 6, I went to sleep in my mom's room. My mom at the time was downstairs in the living room watching some Indian drama with my dad. I went to her room and dozed off. I hear the door open and I automatically assume it's my mother. I just didn't move or anything because I was so tired and half asleep. She went next to my half asleep body, started humming her signature lullaby, patted my head, and went to the other side of the bed to go to sleep. The off thing was, I remember her hands were ice cold. My mom doesn't have cold hands normally, so that was weird and out of the normal. I fell asleep and just continued with my night. The next morning, my mom was making breakfast and I say salam, hello in my language, and sat down. She said salam back and asked how my sleep had been. I told her it was good until she walked in and patted my head because of how cold her hands were. Then she looked at me in shock. She just kind of stared at me with a shocked expression. I asked her what's wrong, and she told me, I fell asleep on the couch and never went to my room last night. My mom panicked, called the imam, aka an Islamic type of priest, that came over the same day and read some Quran on the house. My mom then got a few old and unused electronics to constantly loop Quran on in our house on both floors. I haven't had any other paranormal experiences in that house again. I still live in the house it happened, and I always wonder, who was the woman who put me to sleep? Why didn't she hurt me? Was she a relative? How did she know my mom's lullaby? And what would have happened if I never told my mom about the lady who put me to sleep? Put me to sleep. Whoa, that's really cool. Thank you, thank you. Man, I don't know which parts are real and which are fake, but it sounds very believable. Because it's a very classic ghost story. It's someone, saying goodnight, and it's not them. I did get a chill when you described a lullaby. Ooh, humming a lullaby, just because it reminds me of the creepy thing that happened to me. All right, so this next one, this is going to be our last story. Oh, wow, I am blazing through these. Okay, this is called Gym Class. Hi, Sapphire. My name is Emily. I've been a fan of your show for quite some time, and I wanted to tell you something eerie that happened when I was in 7th grade. In Canada, where I live, high school is 7th to 11th grade. So when I went into 7th, it was a whole new school, new people, and new teachers. I've always had trouble making friends, but on the first day of school, I did make a friend. Her name was Kate. She was pretty weird, but good company. My school was next to a park. This park had a lake in the center with a path surrounding it. On my first gym class, our teacher walked around the path with us, showing us where we had to go, as the following classes we would have to run around the lake. The path was mostly straight, but had one turn where you had to go right. Everyone was there when we walked the path, so everyone knew that. As the next gym class arrived, everyone ran around the path. When I got to the turn, I did see some people go left, but I thought nothing of it. When I got back to the park where my teacher was, there were a few other kids there, the sporty kids. I did recognize some of them as the kids who went left at the turn. It was reassuring, as now I knew if I went left, I wouldn't have gotten lost, thank God. After a few minutes, most of the kids were back. We had around 20 minutes left of gym class, so I was excited as I hated running. Everyone was comparing their running time with their friends, and as I had one friend, I wanted to do the same. I looked around the field for Kate, but she wasn't there. I thought, that's okay, we still have around 15 minutes left. Then 10, then 5. Still no sight of her. My gym teacher started looking worried and called over other gym teachers that were in the field with us. All the kids started gossiping over what was going on. I was super confused. Where was Kate? I ended up asking a girl in my class who is now a good friend of mine what had happened. She told me that apparently Kate hadn't gotten lost on the run. I was skeptic as it was an easy and wide path and had one turn that even if you went the wrong way, you would eventually get back, but I didn't remember seeing Kate while I was running. She never came back. The next day, we were told that she changed schools and that she ended up at her apartment at 5. Of course, I was relieved that she was safe, but no one ever found out what happened. My now best friend was in contact with her after the incident, but they never talked about it. They talked mostly about video games and eventually stopped talking. I don't even know what school she went to and why she changed. No one but her knows what happened on the path. That's the scariest part. What? What? Wait. So, oh my gosh. Stavros Michael says, I think Kate died. This is kind of like the hamster situation where like hamster, like if you have a class hamster, it's like, oh, your hamster went to visit his friends at a barn and isn't coming back. That kind of thing. Bro. Hang on. This is like, I had to like let this one sink in. So like, because it doesn't, oh, no. But you said that somebody did come in contact with her after. So she was alive. Or were they just making that up? Bro. That's wild. What year was this? When you were in 7th grade? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what year would that be. Dude, that's wild. Ooh, that's gonna sit with me. That one's gonna sit with me. Well, thank you for that. Who's this from? There is no name. Is there a name? Yeah, there's no name. But thank you. That's weird. That's so weird. B1UV, am I the only one confused? No, we're all confused. Like, basically, there was, like, during gym class, they had to, like, run around this lake. And I think it's big enough that, like, big enough and forested enough that you don't really see what's ahead of you. And she had a friend who just, like, didn't finish the run while they were running. Like, imagine, like, you're just, doing laps around this lake, and then you stop and you wait for everyone, but, like, she never came back. And then people said that she was safe at home, but like the person who wrote this never actually saw Kate or heard from Kate directly after. So it's almost like, did something happen to Kate and they were covering it up? Like, did she fall in the lake? Did she get lost? Did she get snatched? And no one knows. Oh, that weirds me out. That weirds me out. Oh boy. Everyone stay safe. Adam, wait, what if she found the tikbalang like in your story? Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. That's crazy. Carolise Sanabria, I had to leave for a moment and miss the story. Don't worry. Here's the thing, y'all. The live streams, they all get posted to YouTube right away. So if you come in late, you miss any parts, don't fret not, because you once the stream ends, it goes up on my channel and then you can rewatch it so that you don't miss it. Isn't that great? All right, y'all, let's see. Okay. It's time for the collective reading. Everyone watching, take a deep breath. Okay. I'm going to pull a card for everybody. Okay. I got like an image of a seahorse. I don't know if that's what I'm going to pick, though. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, it was a marine animal. This is cute. This is a good one. We got peace. It's a turtle. Isn't that cute? All right. All right, I'm going to read you what the turtle means, and you guys tell me if this resonates with you or not. This card represents the peacemaker, diplomat, and ally. In comparison to the heron card, which symbolizes inner peace, this card encourages peace and friendship with others. The sea turtle is a natural gardener, grazing on seagrass, which houses aquatic life, feeds other sea creatures, and allows space for underwater animals to breed, nest, and hide. This card encourages a peaceful environment where others around you may flourish. It asks you to work with others to maintain peace and cooperation. This sea turtle, as well as numerous other creatures mentioned within this deck, is under threat from pollution and climate change. They are also under threat as a result of fishing and poaching. In many North American indigenous myths, turtles are associated with creation, the Earth Mother, and supporting the earth. This card may symbolize conservation, responsibility, and cooperation with the natural world. It is a reminder that we as individuals can make a difference and that true peace often requires hard work. The spell work that they suggest for this: settling an argument, allowing people to see each other's point of view, guard against conflict, and garden magic. Oh, yeah, that resonates with me. Feel I'm about to that reminds me, I'm going to be going out of town in about 2 weeks from now, and I know it's going to be challenging for a lot of reasons, as all work always is. So I think the turtle is being like, hey, choose peace. Choose peace and don't make things worse if things get weird. That's how I choose to interpret that. Also, so that I'm leaving in 2 weeks, so that means we have one more live stream. We have one more live stream next week. And then after that, I'm going to be, I can't do live streams for the next 6 weeks, and then I'll be back. Is everyone cool with that? All right. Well, I don't know why I'm putting my stuff away on the stream. I can do that after. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you next week for the last one. I'll try to do a longer stream next week since it's the last one for a while. So I will see you then. Bye. Be the turtle. What's the turtle sign? Be the turtle today and this week.